G'day, ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest possible regard. Welcome back to our third episode of our Australian playthrough as the New Moderates Green Collective, because I hit the wrong buttons. In the previous two episodes, in the first episode, we won an election in a coalition. In the second episode, we fucking annihilated everyone in the election. This time round, we are going to have to focus on the health of the nation. Because right now, that is the biggest problem. So we don't have any more concerns about a corporate exodus because our GDP is exploding. It's a $2.4 trillion GDP in a country of originally 25.5 million. I'm not exactly sure how many of this are in the country now, but yeah. So we need to do health-related things. So public services. So we're going to do a universal organ donation situation. And we will... we should probably do that because that's going to reduce racial tension, and that's something I don't want to necessarily have as an issue. Now, the income to expenditure is becoming a bit of a problem, but the deficit is still not completely out of control, and our GDP is so through the roof. So we are going to allow the expansion plans for the airport expansion. So our real estate speculation is booming. We have a real estate bubble, and that makes sense because in real Australia, we have a real estate bubble. So the other thing we need to sort out as well is unemployment. We need to get that last percentage of people working, which is 19% of the population. And I think I know how to do that, and that's by taxing automation. Because we have robotics research grants, that will be putting certain people out of work. So I'm going to introduce my first tax. Not that I want to do that, but yeah. So at the moment we would only get 54% of the vote. We've lost over 10% of the vote, and the only thing I can put that down to being is the debt. People don't like the fact that we're $1.49 trillion in debt. Yeah. So we're going to ban single-use plastic. Okay, the plastic bag tax income just went beyond the game's capabilities. Cool. Fair enough. So I don't know if the GDP can go any higher than 2.4 trillion, which is potentially going to be an issue because I need it to go higher than 2.4 trillion. Because I'm going to make it go higher than 2.4 trillion. So, automation tax. We are going to implement 20% automation tax. No, actually no, I won't go quite that high yet. We'll go 15% automation tax at this point. And that should help directly help to correlate our small unemployment issue. The other thing that we need to potentially drop, and I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it to see if it makes a difference, I'm going to drop the unemployment benefit. Yeah, I didn't want to do it, but so we want to charge a diverted profits tax as well. It doesn't seem to affect our GDP, which is a good thing. And basically, this is to stop companies from putting their money in a tax haven. We want to keep money that is made by companies in this country to therefore benefit the people. So I feel like this is a tax that we do need to unfortunately introduce. I'm not big into introducing tax, but certain taxes just have to be introduced. And of course, taxes like that will then enable us in the future to reduce the tax that we are charging to the everyday person, which I feel is the more important part. Yeah, whatever. There we go. Just like Australia recently did win the Olympics hosting thingamajiggy. We have... So the gig economy is potentially about to become a thing. And that means that we're only going to get 52% of the vote in the next election now. So people are becoming... happy with us. So I'm going to maximum fund the disability benefit. I'm going to massively fund the state pensions as well, I think. Because that's going to increase people's income. And that's one of the things I'm very, very much about. I'm not trying to reduce this debt and deficit by cutting things and taxing people. I'm trying to reduce it by giving people so much spare income that they therefore want to invest it back into the country. So toll roads... No, that's not what I want. I want road building. Yes. So I'll put 6 political capital into road building. That's one thing we're going to want to... So we're going to now want to invest money in things like road building, state energy company, things like that are going to also offer more employment to people. And that will enable me to reduce the unemployment benefit and replace it with a UBI further on. Not something I want to do right now, but it is something that is on the horizon there to try and generate more income as well. And we can also up quantitative easing and helicopter money as well to help boost the GDP if required. It brings that back that whole thing of you've got to spend money to make money. Freedom of information. Availability of information held on databases about citizens without their knowledge. I'm going to reject the proposal. So how are we only down to 49%? A lot of wealthy. Okay. So now we want to have major new road networks. 21 political capital. Holy shit. But that's going to hopefully help with unemployment. Oh, for God's sake, cynical fucking voters not liking that I'm, you know. So, yep. Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to have to ratify the protocol, unfortunately, which means that we may have to start spending money on green energy and clean energy subsidies to try and assist with that. My God, our expenditure is insane. It really is insane. How does that... Oh, it reduces unemployment. Sorry, I thought it created unemployment. No, it reduces unemployment, which is what we want. I know, more money. Spend, 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 spend. And I'm not even going to try and pretend that that's not what I'm doing, because that is what I'm doing. All right. So we have a capital gains tax already in this country. I wouldn't have it at 26% though. I would have it down at, oh, let's go with about 15% capital gains tax. It's not fantastic, but yeah, it's a thing that already exists, and I'm pretty sure it exists a lot higher than 15% in this country. Huh? Poaching? Erosion of their natural habitat? It's not even a thing. But anyway, so how are we... What is... Why have we lost so much voter... I see. Well, State Energy Company. Yeah, I know. It's expensive to implement, but guess what? We're going to do it. Because it ups productivity. It reduces corruption. It reduces poverty. It reduces unemployment. It gives people jobs. You know? Important things. Very important things. So we want to also introduce a welfare fraud department with undercover investigators. Mainly because we have next to no poverty in this country and all that anyway now, so there shouldn't be any real welfare for us to investigate. And any that is just people being a bunch of shits. Because we have so many things in this country now that allow people to stand on their own 2 feet that I just don't feel like it's... Yeah. Anyway, this country does also have charity tax relief. So we're going to implement that just at the minimum. And then we're going to go through a turn and we're going to see what happens. Because we're about halfway through this turn of government. So our poverty is now so low, but our unemployment is still causing a problem. Our relative GDP is still 2.4 trillion, and that's really annoying how we can't take it any higher. Really need to take it higher. Really need to take it up higher. So now we're going to unfortunately have to introduce more taxes, but I'm going to try and focus on taxes that the country already has as a thing. So, we do have a junk food tax. I'm not sure what it is, but it exists. But one thing I'm definitely going to do is tax religion. Oh, it hands a percentage of people's earnings directly to religious institutions. No, 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 no. That's not what I want. I want a tax. Have I implemented that? Oh, come on. No, 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 no. Fuck off. I didn't even hit apply changes, you prick. Fuck's sake. I'm going to reform the Secret Service. That is so annoying. Don't even have to hit the buttons to accept it anymore. Yes, I want to cancel that because I never fucking-mented it in the first place. You stupid game. So now I'm going to blow some more money because why not? And we're going to implement a state telecoms company. Wow, that used all our political capital. Whoops. Okay, well, it is what it is. Yes, so we want to ban non-LED light bulbs. Absolutely. Bloody hell, this is a balancing act. Look at the expenditure, though. And nearly $2 trillion in debt. That ain't going to be helping our popularity, unfortunately. Yeah, no shit. There we go. Winning again with more natural entertainment. So, well, we get 64% of the vote in the next election. That's interesting, how that all of a sudden just went through the roof. So, my manifesto. I don't have any manifesto at this point. That is cool. I don't mind that. So. Oh, yes. I unfortunately still probably need to do some tax things. So microgeneration grants. It's going to reduce the energy industry, but we already run the energy industry now, so we can do that because we're going to run it with green energy. So that does that, and then with our 10 political capital, can we? Yes, we can maximize green energy subsidies as well. So I've still got 9 political capital. I want to implement taxes, but I want to implement taxes that don't necessarily cause... No, I do not want to have a 46% junk food tax. I want it at about 15. Because I don't want it to Yeah, so it doesn't affect people's incomes. Hang on. Let's go... Oh, really? It only does 10... Yeah, so I feel like that's a good place for it to be. So we can do that as well. We're going to implement social justice. So that's basically a mental health style service. So for any of those who are still struggling, that's what we're implementing that for. So how are we looking now as a country? We have very, very high GDP, the maximum GDP. I don't think we can increase our GDP by anything more than what it already is. Unfortunately, we can't, which is annoying because 2.4 trillion just... The way I run a government, it would be in excess of 3 trillion at this point, if it allowed that to be a thing. So the disguised employment law. Yeah, I want to leave the current regulations alone because we have next to no poverty and we have next to no crime. The only problem that we've got is that our unemployment is at 23%. So we would get 63% of the vote in the next election. So rare earth crisis because of rare earth metal prices. Not ideal. Not ideal. So, we need to do something about the unemployment rate. And I'm not exactly sure what we can do about that at this point. I feel like faith school subsidies and turning up the secularity of education like that is a good place to start. I want to reduce the payroll tax. I know that seems insane, but I want those people to potentially be motivated to go and start their own business if they're having trouble finding work. I want to obviously offer that as a potential option. See, the fact that the credit rating keeps on being downgraded, and that's going to happen more and more now because I can't get the GDP above 2.4 trillion. Which is unfair because, as I said, I could have the GDP above 3 trillion, no problem. Oh, bugger off with your cynicalism. I'm going to make it absolute maximum and use another 18 political capital just to fucking piss you off. How does that sound? So we're very popular. Our deficit is now going to spiral out of control because of the way the game is set up. So we're going to have to just start ignoring the income expenditure deficit thing because until I find out if there's a way to edit parts of the game or whatever within the files that actually allow us to increase the GDP beyond 2.4 trillion. So my pledge is I'm just going to increase gender equality. Because all the other things involve cut. And yeah. So I'm trustworthy, I'm compassionate, but I'm not a strong leader, which doesn't make any sense because I would have said I am a strong leader. But anyway, we're going to go to the next election. We're going to see what that brings us. We had 60% of the vote last time. So we're going to see what we can do this time round. %61% of the vote. So things haven't changed that much. Now, between now and the next episode, I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at the game files for this particular game. And I'm going to see if there is a way to make it so that the GDP can go higher than 2.4 trillion. Because otherwise what's going to happen is our credit rating is going to keep on being downgraded, 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 which doesn't make any sense because I'm still increasing the economy as we go along here. It's just not being shown because I've hit the maximum, and there should not be a maximum. But let's have a look at the breakdown of the changes. I mean, the fact that the food price is down 73%, crime is down 73%, and lifespan is up 50%, whilst poverty is down 50%. Pretty good. So I have a good cabinet. One of our key extraction industries. Okay. Bureaucracy. Okay. And we've got 73.3. See, we're still stuck. And as you can see, we've been stuck at 2.4 billion. Whereas if you look previously, we were on a continuous growth the whole time that we were in. So the fact that we were on a continuous growth makes it a bit shit that now we can't keep growing that. So I'm going to have a look at that before the start of the next term. So and we're also going to need to do something about the undermined. We're going to maybe potentially have to start funding mining and potentially pollution increasing things in return. Like that will help our unemployment issue. In return, it will mean that we'll obviously have to invest more into health and more into the environment, but that's fine because we're going to be creating that income anyway through the fact that there's going to be more businesses and foreign investments and, you know, all that coming into the country. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, legends of the highest regard, if you did enjoy that episode, please consider hitting the like or the subscribe button. If you have any feedback on how I can make this particular episode any better, please do let me know in the comments. I read every comment and I take all of your feedback on board. But until next time, wherever you are in the world, stay safe, stay well, don't do anyone I wouldn't do, and I will catch you in the next video.